Hello and welcome to my review of the Warhammer 40,000 Conquest issue number 6. I'm going to review this issue today. It's a monthly subscription service from Hatchett Partworks. They've collaborated with Games Workshop for the past few years. Each issue is £7.99, which is a fair amount of money, but typically the models you get or the paints you get with each issue cost more separately than with this subscription. There are quite a few models down the line, such as Calcius was issue 5. He would typically be a £15 to £20 model. There's a Myphitic Blight Hauler, which I think is £15. There's a Redemptor Dreadnought at some point, which is about £20. So there will be some issues that will be repeats, such as this one, I believe. I think you got these 3 models in issue 2. Let's have a look at issue 6. So it comes with these 3. I think these were the same ones in issue 2. What I like to do is look at the issue first of all, which this time they talk about the Tainted Suns, Death Guard Organisation, Colours of Contagion, Plague Company, and that's about it. So you get some pictures of them, you get a little bit of text, but that's it, not much at all. Now, I fathom to guess that they went through the Plague Marines in more depth in issue 2. They do give you the how to build guide, which you'd expect, and they do talk to you about how to paint them with your metallic paint that you got in the Reaver set, I believe. Then they give you some a mission scenario, which in my opinion, you should just get the data sheets. I'd rather have the data sheet for these Death Guard than any of these extra little missions and things. Anyway, they talk about the Blight Launcher, and they talk about the Plasma Gun, which is on the back of the Death Guard Plague Marine there, and the Bolt Gun. So quite a weak magazine for the £8, and it's even more weaker in that it's you know, duplicate models. Nobody likes duplicate models. Would have been better if we had a brand new model like a Blight Hauler or something like that. What I'm going to do now is just show you the models up close and personal, then I'll do some size comparisons, and then I will provide you the rules to use them. So here are the models themselves. You've got this Death Guard Plague Marine with the bolt gun and a nice potato masher or grenade. You've got his power plant there with drips of goo and some tentacles. I have actually painted this Death Guard Marine, this Death Guard Plague Marine, and I've done a showcase on him too, so he's probably somewhere on the channel. Nice looking model though. This guy here, another Plague Marine with this plague knife, got a horn coming out of his head, horns coming out of his armour, and a power fist as well, along with a plasma gun just attached to his back, hidden, but it's a very potent, powerful weapon. It's quite odd that you'd get a special weapon sort of hidden or strapped to a model like that. And then finally this guy with the Blight Launcher, very, very decent weapon. Many people wanted more Blight Launchers when the rules were out and when these Death Guard were released, but it's such a good weapon and another awesome looking miniature. But as I said before, these 3 were in issue 2 and they've been in the easy to build kit last year, I think, for £10. So what I'll do now is just give you some size comparisons. So this is a Poxwalker that we reviewed last time. You got 6 of those, I believe, and as you can see, the Plague Marine's much bigger, much bulkier than the Poxwalkers, and obviously way better in game terms. Compared to a Space Marine, just a normal Space Marine from the Hero set, because these I think are the most accurately sized. A little bit bigger, a little bit bloated. I can see now how they've become more bloated if they were originally this size. I think it's more of a true scale compared to the Plague Marines. And then finally to an Intercessor, which was issue number 1. Intercessor's just a little bit taller than the Death Guard, and so it should be. So there are all the size comparisons. What I'll do now is just go through all the rules. So unfortunately you don't get the rules in the issue itself. You're going to have to go out and purchase the Death Guard Codex, which is worth it in my opinion because it's one of my favourite codexes. It does cost you £25, but it's a hardback book with lovely looking pages, lovely artwork, and it has all the rules in it, and it has a load of army showcases too. So where will you find these in the book? You'll find them under the troop section, which is, I say, hotly contested. There's a lot of variety in the troop section. Everything from Chaos Cultists to the Poxwalkers we saw in the last video, 2 little Nurglings, and also Plague Bearers. But they're the first choice in the book. They cost a power points cost of a 7 and a match play points cost of and 19 per model. The unit contains 1 Plague Champion and 4 Plague Marines. So again, like a lot of the models, it's not really a legal squad to have 3. You've got to have the 5 Champion and the Plague Marines. It can include 2 additional Plague Marines, up to 5 additional Plague Marines, or up to 10 additional Plague Marines, or up to 15 additional Plague Marines. So you can have a squad of 20 Plague Marines in your Death Guard troop choice. Weapon options, holy moly, there's an awful lot of weapon options here. Everything from Blight Launchers, which I'll talk about because one of the models has it, to the Plasma Gun, to a Flail of Corruption, a Great Cleaver, Mace of Contagion, a Plague Knife, Power Fist, Blight Grenades, and so on. So I would go as far to say as the miniature in front is the Plague Champion. Now he can replace his Plague Knife with a Plague Sword. I would do that. The Plague Knife is the strength of the user and it's a damage 1 and it's a plague weapon. However, the Plague Sword, it allows you to re-roll failed wound balls, and that can make all the difference having that Plague Sword. It might cost you a bit more. The champion may replace his bolt gun with a bolt pistol, plasma pistol, or plasma gun. So again, he's got the plasma gun on his back, and the Plague Champion may take a Power Fist. Wow, so Plague Sword, Plasma Gun and Power Fist. He's got a triumvirate of decent weapons there to take on a number of foes. Let's just go through the stat line then. So movement is 5 inches, weapon skill, ballistic skills 3+, strength is 4, toughness is 5 though, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7 and a save of 3+. Now the champion in the front there differs slightly in that he's got 2 attacks and he's got a leadership of 8, but all other stats remain the same. And he can take different weapon options, and I'll talk about those in a little moment. Up to 2 Plague Marines can replace their bolt gun with either a Plague Spewer, a Plague Belcher, a Blight Launcher, Melter Gun or Plasma Gun. And then it gives you other war gear options in terms of replacing bolt guns with Plague Cleavers, Maces of Contagion and Icon of Despairs. So I'll just talk about the Plasma Gun that champion has. It's got 2 firing modes, both range of 24 inches, but if it fires standard, it's rapid fire 1, strength 7, AP -3 and a damage 1. But if he chooses to supercharge it, it's the same range, rapid fire 1, but the strength goes up to 8, same AP -3, but damage 2. However, on a hit roll of a 1, the bearer is slain after all this weapon shots have been resolved. That model's going to cost you a lot of match play points anyway, because of the Power Fist and the Plague Sword, so it might not be the best use to supercharge it, I'm just saying. The Blight Launcher, which the Death Guard Plague Marine on the left hand side is equipped with, is a 24-inch Assault 2 weapon, strength 6, AP -2, damage D3 and a plague weapon 2. So that's pretty decent. You get 2 shots of a strength 6 AP -2 weapon with a damage of up to 3. That's why it's quite a good weapon, because it's an assault weapon and it has a decent stat line. Abilities: Death to the False Emperor, disgustingly resilient, Icon of Despair, well that's only if you equip one of the models with an Icon of Despair, and Vectors of Death and Disease. And if a Plague Marine is armed with 2 Plague Knives, a Plague Knife and a Bubotic Axe, or a Mace of Contagion and a Bubotic Axe, then it just bumps up the attacks to 2 instead of 1. So you can have them as a full close combat melee unit if you choose to. So there's lots of options. It's the biggest fleshed out troop choice in the Codex for Death Guard. Don't leave home without your Plague Marines, and if you can manage to have 2 squads of 10 in Rhinos or a squad of 20 slowly making their way across the board, once they get to your enemy they're going to do a lot of damage because they are very resilient. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about Warhammer 40,000 Conquest issue 6. What do you think of the issue? What do you think of the models? I'm a big fan of the Death Guard, of course, got a big Death Guard army now from last year. Please do put all of your comments and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.